So starting this week, we are going to focus on the big developments in the mutual fund industry. Now, this week, our focus is on a brand new index fund that has been launched by Tata Mutual Fund. Tata Mutual Fund has launched the Tata Nifty Midcap 150 Momemtum 50 Index Fund. So the question we're asking is, what are the opportunities in the midcap space with a differentiated approach of looking at momentum as a factor for selection? Shailesh Jain, who's the fund manager at Tata Asset Management, joins us now to talk about that. Shailesh, perhaps this is the right time to launch this fund, given that the midcap action has come back in a big way. But tell us a little bit about, if an investor invests in this index fund, what would the returns be over the next, say, 1 to 2 years compared to the average returns on the Nifty or the midcap index?
Hi, Sonia. Just coming back to this on this fund, yes, I personally believe that's a very good time to launch this fund. Midcap index or midcap stocks have been in fancy for last few years, and I believe they will continue to be in fancy the way the Indian markets are poised now. On your question, so that's what we believe, that midcap is a good strategy to invest here in at this point in time. So and on the fund. Sorry, what was the question about it?
On the returns, on an average, if I do invest in this midcap fund versus, say, the average Nifty or the midcap index, what would the returns be?
We personally believe that over a longer, so obviously as this category is midcap category, you need an investment horizon of at least 1 to 3 years. And typically, if you are invested for a 3 to 5 year period, the return expected would be anywhere around 5 to 7% higher than the Nifty itself.
Okay. Shailesh, you've got some interesting themes which are lined up, and two of them which stand out to me is the PLI, where there have been 7 new PLIs which have been approved, which were outside of the original segments that did get the funding or the approvals. And the other one is the China +1 strategy. Tell us, how exactly would you be playing these two themes? Which sectors are you looking at most closely? How much do you expect in terms of returns, and by when?
So yes, I think so. If you really see a midcap as a theme, actually covers most of the investment strategy, which I think most of the people are looking at. So typically, the premiumization, the PLI, China +1, the big capex. One more interesting fact is that among the midcap sectors, when you will look into it, many of the midcap stocks are actually market leader in the categories, like typically the footwear, if you put the AMC, among the chemical, the AC sector. So my sense is that with this sector and the number of stocks what you have to invest in this, typically the 50 stocks out of the 150 stocks, I think will actually cover most of the strategies which is in fancy now, the investment strategies. So my view is that because this will be a broad-based index, it will eventually cover a lot of strategies which are there typically from the PLI or the themes with the China +1 or the Europe +1 among this sector.
So, Shailesh, I just wanted to understand from the fund rationale that you've given, that the momentum strategy takes past price performance over a defined period, and you are looking to, creating the need for a filter to select potential outperformers. Just wanted to understand, is it a quant-based fund, or there is some fundamental aspect here as well? How are you selecting these stocks?
So yes, sir. So let me take this fund first. So what the momentum strategy, as everybody knows, captures in the price performance of a stock over a period of time. What we have done is that we have actually ranked them on the normalized momentum index. Plus we add some filter to it, and we actually come out with the top 50 stocks, which are actually and the weights of which every stock is defined on their normalized score as a combination of the normalized score and the free float. Free float of the individual stock. Now, if you really see what is a momentum strategy actually captures both the fundamental and the technical aspect of a stock. Now, how would you define that? Is basically, if a stock starts delivering, or stocks keeps on doing well, or if it starts performing well in terms of the earnings, basically it attracts attention. Now, imagine a stock which has been doing well or starts delivering numbers over quarter. It will start pulling more and more investors towards it, right? Which means your multiples will start expanding. That means a part of the momentum strategy is also the fundamental strategy. Once you have a stock doing well, there will be technical breakout, there will be price breakout, there will be resistance going off, and you will see a lot of technical and the algos guys chasing it. So typically, in a nutshell, a momentum strategy is actually a combination of both the fundamental and the technical part of the stock.
Okay, all right, got that. So it's a combination of fundamental and technicals. Just one last question. You know, one of the themes that you're looking at is premiumization, right? And of course, you said that you pick stocks which are doing well, both in terms of earnings, in terms of stock price. And in this premiumization category, one stock that perhaps comes to mind from the large caps is something like an M&M, which has been doing very well and now benefits from premiumization as well. Tell me, in the broader market, since this is a mid-cap fund, any examples that you can cite in these themes? What are the stocks that you would be looking at?
So I won't be able to comment on an individual name, but I can tell you typically the industries where premiumization is actually happening is the footwear industry, where I can just name where the premiumization is moving up. Even on the AC segment where the premiumization is happening, you have the lighting segment where the premiumization is happening. I think there are multiple things where there are multiple stocks under this theme.
Okay, I think there's some issue with your audio, so we'll wrap up with this discussion on that note. We can't hear you very well, but thanks a lot for joining in and talking about the NFO from the Tata Mutual Fund stable. There's a mid-cap index fund that they have launched, and they're going to use the momentum strategy, both a mix of technicals as well as fundamentals. Well, every week we'll try and feature one new development in the mutual fund industry, which will help long-term retail investors. Let's slip into a quick break. On the other side, Aditya Agarwala of Invest for Edu will join in with some trading strategies. Do stay tuned in.